Hey, folks, I think we're live. Let us know. Greg from Clearwater 124 and Mike from Big Oak.
What's up, Slockhart nerds?
Our first live stream together on scratch building cars. Let us know that if you can see us and hear us, please.
Whoop, whoop. Hello, hello.
Anybody home?
I say we just roll with it.
The lights are on.
Yeah, I mean it says live 45 seconds, so let's just let's go. You want to give a little synopsis of what the show is going to be about?
Let me pull it up over here and see what it says. Okay, it says live, but it doesn't have. It's still showing. Oh yeah, no, no, we're live. Yeah, I just pulled it up on my other screen on YouTube, and we're live, Mike. Just nobody
All
in. Brad and Pete must have jumped back out.
right, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get on with it.
Well, there's nobody here. There's really, you know.
All right, we just do it. We ain't gonna wait. We ain't gonna wait. Let's just do it.
Okay, can you record this because I can't?
I don't know how to do all that stuff because I'm new to all this. It should be recording right now, right? I
No,
mean, it
I
should
can't.
automatically.
Mine will record. I guess to YouTube it'll record.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that's how it works. This is
yeah.
my this is really my first live that I've been involved with, except for Joe, but he handles all that stuff, so I don't know any of the questions. And HSF, thank you for loud and clear. Got B-Red slot cars popping in. Show me slot cars here, and Herrera's Carrera maybe still be here. I don't know.
I think he's on his anniversary date.
Yeah, yeah, we ain't here to talk about anniversaries and stuff. We're here to talk about scratch build cars.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Mike and I are going to do a live every other week. If we have enough content and people are interested enough, and show off what we're doing and what we're thinking of doing, and maybe share some stuff that we find. We're certainly not professional builders. We're just kind of finding our way along. Just about every build, I find something new to try. So any information that I have, I will be happy to share.
And all you guys know, or I guess most of you know, I am Michael. And I'm at Big Oak Raceway, and I just recently, a couple months ago, started racing at the track around the corner, and did a couple scratch build cars, and that's about the extent of my knowledge in scratch builds. And I want to get a little bit better so I can build some cars for the HRW Home Racing World in January. So that's where we're at right now. So we're just gonna, I think, get together and talk about this stuff and maybe do a build as we go. So bear with us as we get going, and if you have anything to share, we'll gladly take a look at it and listen.
Joe, why don't you show the last car that you built to race at your local track, Mike? You got that there?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on, let me switch this camera up, and so I built two cars. Um, so the first one I actually built uh, is is this petty car, and it's a 1971 Roadrunner. We run the hard body model bodies, 124, 125th scale. We run H&R chassis with pro stock Daytona wheels, foam wheels, regular. I think that it's the Colford. KOFORD guides, and so the braid's there, and you got to have a driver, got to have a roll cage, you got to have a net, and you got to have a steering wheel for the body. So that's the first one I actually built. Um, the the most recent one that I finished though is this 1990 Buick Regal that Greg actually sent me and thought that I could use it for my first scratch build, but I'm missing the E on the highlight. But this kit was actually from 1990, and the decals, or as some people say, the decals, um, were kind of old, and I was having trouble getting them off, and I was ripping them. So I just took a Scotch Brite Brillo pad thing and just kind of scuffed it all up because I wanted it to look worn and a little bit ragged. So that's the way I did it. This one I actually used the interior or the floor pan for the floorboard instead of this polystyrene polystyrene that I used on this one. So we only have to run two screws in there, and it creates some pretty decent body float uh, on the track. So that's where I am in this build process. So that's all I got for that. And I'm
Was
hoping to learn a lot more. I wanna be able to start soldering the brass chassis and all that stuff. So um, yeah, that's what I want to get into.
you just showing me your body float there made me think of something. It's something that I've tried on a few cars and it seems to work pretty good. I don't even know if you'll be able to see this. Maybe it'll stick to my thumb. See that? That's a little rubber O-ring.
Yeah,
What I've done is I put that between the chassis and whatever I'm attaching the chassis to, whether it be the interior or the chassis of the model kit or whatever.
right.
I put that in between, and then you can tighten down your screw or back it out to whatever you want, and that will give you some float also.
Yeah, well, what these guys do is they take these just regular screws, sheet metal screws, half-inch long sheet metal screws, and I haven't done any yet myself. Somebody gave me some screws, but they take their Dremels and they grind off a couple of threads down by the head of the screw,
Yeah,
and then that smooths it out so there's no threads to catch on the plastic or the poly styrene when you put it in there. So,
yeah,
but the grommets, the rubber washers would probably act as a dampener, I bet, and
yeah,
absorb some of the energy in the corners or whatever wherever you're racing. So,
yeah, yeah. Right
thank you
off.
HSF and Bryce for your comment. Appreciate that.
I'll show you my last build is my buddy's dirt track car that he actually raced in Vermont 25 or 30 years ago. His wife sent me some pictures of it, and he doesn't know about it. I'm going to give this to him this weekend. Uh, what did we figure, Mike? 84 Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I think that's the 84 right there.
It's a
So
scratch built brass chassis, and I did the same thing with this that Mike did on his Buick. There, I used part of the model chassis.
yeah,
The
see,
head,
I didn't even think about painting the brass, the H and R chassis. I didn't even think
yeah,
about painting that. Do you primer it before or just
yeah,
throw paint?
yeah. I would
So
that.
you
Yeah, the H&R I would just scuff the Scotch Brite, primer it, and paint it. Yeah.
okay?
When you're building with brass, after you've got all your soldering done, give it a bath in vinegar and baking soda, and use a toothbrush or a very soft brass brush and give it a scrub because the flux will rust, will allow things to rust. So give it a good
Okay.
clean. Give it a good clean.
All right. That
It's
sounds
pretty funny to watch that chemical reaction just between vinegar and baking soda, right?
good. Yeah. There's another chemical reaction I was thinking about, but I won't mention that here because it has to do with serial killers and all that stuff. They don't have nothing to do with scratch building. But yeah.
And then I've got on the bench, I really haven't done much with it yet. I've got 37 Ford. I've already built a 37 Ford. Well, I shouldn't say I built it. I already have a 37 Ford that came with that Quebec bunch. But I have this one that I got. Douglas Cook sent me this, so it's a complete kit. But I'm gonna build a fenderless hot rod with this one. Um, partial chassis done. It'll have no fenders. Of course, it's going to be Chevy powered, as all Ford hot rods are. And then I have to construct some way to mount.
Chevy powers. All right.
I have to construct some way to mount the grill and the hood. I think I'm going to try to do it out of brass. So, but anyway, that's the next one. There's the grill and the hood. But I want it. I'm not gonna. I want the engine to be exposed, right, on both sides. So
Right.
it'll take. I'm not a
Yeah, because
very
that's the
good.
way.
Yeah, I'm not a very
That's the
good
way they
engineer.
did it back then. And is that that's not the car that Ralph Malph had, right?
I don't
Anyway,
think.
but that era, a lot of those cars, the jalopies and stuff, had those engine, the side of the engine exposed. So,
Right. Yeah.
uh,
Yep.
but yeah,
They use either no sides and no hood, or sometimes just the hood.
right,
Yep.
yeah. So, yeah,
Best
is
way
that
to
what we're gonna
here we
go
go.
ahead? What? Here we go. What?
Best way to fix a Ford, Chevy power.
All right, Filthy's in the house now. Good to see you. When you've
Hi,
got
Jay.
the itch, head over to Scratch Talk. That's what I'm talking about. When you've got the itch, head on over to Scratch Talk. That might be. We might have to credit Filthy for giving us the tagline
Yeah, we might.
right there. That's. Let me write that down. I don't even have no paper. I'm not. Hey, David. So my question here's what I guess I need to know. There's a so I got a couple ideas for the scratch, the HRW scratch build stuff, right?
Yep.
And
I built 3 cars for that last
so the
couple of years.
so the first car that I want to build is this it's a 64 uh Galaxy, and that should qualify for a land barge, yeah. I
Yep.
mean they ran them in NASCAR, so and also I can use this once I build it. I can run it over at the track as a in the Grand National series, which is what I'm running the petty car in now. So
If you go to the HRW website, all the rules for all the classes are there, and it will
right,
tell you the year of the cars and so on and so
yeah.
forth.
I mean
Yep.
it's within the year,
Yep.
that they have for the land bars. Now it's not for obviously it's not a zipper top, so it's not a 56 to 59 zipper top.
Yep.
So I want to build it on the Showdown chassis, but they don't have them in stock yet. However, I have the H&R. Let me switch this camera. I have the H&R chassis here, and everything I need to build this car for the track over there. So I got H&R chassis. I got the the yeah, for the
Bearings?
rear axle. Huh?
Bushings?
The bearings or bushings, whatever. So I got my weight because they weren't run the weight, they run the stick weight and the pads. I got my shims or my yeah, it's spacers. I got my spacers. I got my wheels here. Those two of them. I think those are the fronts. Yeah, those are the fronts. These are the rears because they're soft.
They got
I
to
got
be
my 29.
Got to be Paul Gauge.
Yeah, that's why I know for the HRW
Yeah,
build. So I'm hoping that I can get one of the showdown kits for that and to just be able to swap over the body, right?
right,
But
exactly.
in order to run it over at the track, I have to be here with this stuff. And then I got my lead wires and my motor. So I'm going to run a 1029 gear mesh or gear ratio on a over at our track because we can only run a 15,200 motor. So all this is for the build for the track that I'm going to use. Oh, and of course I got my axles and my guide and everything here.
Yeah,
So my question is, if I have to build it, I know if I have to build it on the H&R chassis, right? To send it to HRW. I know that I have to get the other wheels and everything,
yeah.
but the question is, do people put weight on the cars that they send to Harry? Um, and if they do, where do you put it since it's an oval? Do you put it on the inside of the car
Yes, yeah.
or
Inside,
the outside of the car?
inside.
If it's just an oval. Now on these ones that we're doing over at the track, we're running these on the Blue
Road,
King, which is
road
a
course.
road course. So we got the weight on both sides. Of course, we got weight under the motor and down the center, and then a couple blocks right here by the front axle. I can take this off real quick.
What did you What did you say that car weighed?
This car,
Still pretty
this
light.
one, huh? This
I
one
thought.
weighs 308 grams. This one.
Oh, okay. No, it is heavy. Yeah,
So
that's heavy.
this one, this one weighs a little bit less than that. It's like 293 or something like that. So one of the guys was saying that, if you drive a heavier car, you can drive the corners a little bit deeper, and you can make up a lot of time uh, in the race in the corners that way because we run on breakout times,
Right.
so you have a minimum lap time that you have to be above. If you come in under that minimum lap time, your lap doesn't count. So you got to
Right.
actually drive the car. So you got to bleed off some speed down the straight before you hit the start finish line to get time. So I just didn't know how that works. Are there videos out there that Harry maybe puts out that can give you an idea of where to put the weight?
Harry and George from Area 51 have both done videos on that.
Okay.
I'm looking at my little spreadsheet I have on my scratch built cars. My heaviest scratch built is 239 grams, and that's the 62 Chevy pickup. My 63 Impala, that blue one that runs really good, that I
Hmm.
sent the HRW a year or so ago, that's 226, and that had weight on the inside, and that's on excuse me, and that's on an H&R chassis also.
Right.
And that car ran awesome on Harry's track. The only time it deslotted was if somebody ran into it. It never deslotted on its own with all four drivers driving it.
Oh, so they run these proxy races 4 cars at a time. There's just not one.
Yeah, yeah. 4
Oh,
different
okay.
drivers.
All right, I didn't know that. I thought
Lane
they
to lane.
just ran it. I just thought they ran it in one at a time in the same lane and did the like the fastest lap or whatever.
If you go on HRW, you can look it up. Look at 2024 January 2024 Landguard series. You'll see my car there.
All right, I'll do that. All right, so and then I'm gonna build a '69 Chevy Nova. I haven't gotten that kit yet, but I'm gonna get it tomorrow, or should be here tomorrow. And it's a 132, so I got the Showdown chassis kit for that, so I'm gonna scratch build that one. So as far as scratch building, where do I need to start? What type of tools and equipment am I gonna need to put this thing together?
That kit has everything you need to build a chassis, except for the tools. It has the brass, the gears, the wheels, the tires. I
Right.
think it even has the wiring, the motor. It has everything to build the
Yeah.
chassis. Yep. You need to start with your board.
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
Yep. You use that with the pins, and that's how you set. It's a jig, basically. It's a jig,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
The first thing you need to do is you want to take your kit apart.
Sure.
You want
Let
to
me.
open your
I
kit.
got it. I got it out just now. So let me switch this camera. And I guess what? So I got all the pieces here.
Let's see if I got one I can get the body off of pretty easy.
I got me a, a jig, a chassis jig, and I got me some pins right here. So I don't, yeah. So you walk me through this. I'll open these pins up and we'll
Yep.
see. I mean, just to get started, like, right, tell me like where I need to,
Yeah.
because I don't know how many other people on here are beginners, but I am pretty much a beginner when it comes to my soldering skills are suspect at best, and yeah, and I'm working on my paint. I'm working on my paint skills now, so um,
Well, I'm
they're
hoping
not
I'm
they're
hoping
not
Santa brings me an airbrush. That's what I'm hoping.
they're not very good at this point, but I will get there eventually. So
Yeah. Get a couple of pins ready, and then break open your brass. Break open your brass there.
let me get these. Let me get my safety glasses on because we don't need OSHA. We don't need OSHA coming around here and busting up our operation. So, all right, got me a couple pins together. I'm gonna open up this brass, maybe, and I'm thinking that I'll be building on this thing um, as we go. Like I'll be hopefully doing a little bit each week, and then when we meet back, we maybe show the progress of where I am on this thing.
Yeah.
All right, so I got my brass out.
And break out your motor mount, axle holder.
Too bad these. Oh wait, they do. Look at that parts. There's a whole thing up there for parts. This is parts. So we use that. Uh, put my axles up there. Got this other stuff. All right. So I
Right,
got
lay
my
your
motor. I got my motor mount.
okay. Set that down on your board. and get your two longest pieces of brass rail, square tube. Yep. Put one on each side of the motor bracket. Now, the first decision that you need to make is, are you going to use the brass behind the motor mount to mount a body at all, or bumpers or anything like that? If you're not, move the motor mount all the way to the back. If
Okay,
you're
so can I do that? Just do this like it is now, and then when I get the kit tomorrow and look at the body, I can, because I'm not going to solder anything tonight, obviously, right? I'm just
right,
going to get it
right,
lined out.
yeah,
So I can just do it like this now,
yeah,
and that's what you're talking about. Just the back, the end of the tube flush with the back of the motor mount, right?
yeah. And take your guide plate and put that in the front.
All right, guide plate. I think I need to move it back some. All right, we got the guide plate. We're gonna put it in the front, like on top of them
Nope,
or in between.
down inside. Yep. Now you can pin it at both ends, and that'll make sure
Where,
that your rails are parallel,
so where would I pin it?
as close as you can get it on both sides.
To the rail right here?
Up, go no, go like in the middle of the guide plate on the
Okay,
outside. On the outside, no, on the outside of the rail.
right here or right here
Out there, yep, out there. Yep,
on
both
both
sides.
sides.
Yep. Make sure it's tight up against the guide plate. And then do the same thing back at the rear near the motor mount.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to put them in at an angle to get it nice and tight.
I think that's right. Pretty dang tight. I can't even hardly move.
Yeah, you shouldn't be
That's
able to
tight.
move it. Yep.
That's tight. Maybe move that up here.
The only reason
All
you're
right.
putting the guide plate there is to make sure it's parallel. You know.
Okay.
Yep. So then once you get that set and you're comfortable with where your motor mount is, then you solder the motor mount to the brass rails.
Okay.
You use the
So in any where would I do that? Like
right along that long edge,
right
right?
right here?
Yep. You take your stay clean, your flux, and however you apply it. I just use a small paintbrush, just
Okay.
apply it, and uh, and then hit it with solder. And the key is making sure you get enough flux on there, and make sure that you hold your soldering gun there long enough. Don't be in a rush. Just put it there and whistle a song or something.
Okay.
Make sure it's good and hot, and you watch the solder run down where the flux is.
So I'm gonna whistle uh dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 like
yeah,
the Monday night theme song.
right. Yeah, you just don't. The key is not rushing. Let the solder and the flux do what it's supposed to do, and you'll get your best soldering joints.
Okay,
What I-
so the flux is gonna help it get into the crack.
yes, Yeah.
They get in between the rod and the motor mount plate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll even
Okay.
when you're done, you'll even be able to see the solder on the underside.
Okay. So because it'll pull it down
Yeah.
all the way down then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the first step, is getting your motor mount in. Your second step is fitting an axle tube.
Okay. So an axle tube in here.
Yeah. What I
Well, that's
generally do is I stick it through, and it's really after you get it soldered. You stick it
right.
through, and you figure out about how wide you need it for your car, and then you cut it off. And there's several ways to cut it off. I have a small tube cutter that works fine. You know, a little hand cutter.
So this is going to be for the back,
Yep.
and the axle is going to go through there.
Yes.
And where's my gear going to go?
Well, once you put that tube through and you cut it down to size, you can cut it with a tube cutter, or you can cut it with a little chop saw. I have a little tabletop chop saw that I use also. And
Well,
then,
I ain't that fancy, so I probably just use a steak knife.
yeah, okay. And then once you solder that in there, you solder your bushings to the end of the tube,
Okay.
right? And then when you're all done, you cut the center out, cut the center of the tube out.
Oh, okay. So then the axle, then the okay.
Axle goes through and
Can,
your gear can mount.
can I see an example of that, please?
Right here.
Oh, okay. So here's so they're soldered in, right?
Yep.
And then you solder them in, then you cut the tube.
Yes. Correct the
Okay.
window. Yep.
Okay. And so when I'm seeing them like that, I'm stupid. So uh, I'm not smart on this stuff. So when I see that in
Yep.
somebody else's build, I thought they just cut them and then stuck them in there and soldered them.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's that makes sense to put it in there, cut out the center.
Yep.
Okay.
So now you've got your rear axle set, right? So my next step would be to put wheels and tires on the rear,
Okay.
stick my model body down on it. So now you know where your rear wheels line up, right? Now
Okay.
you, now you can figure out where your front ones go.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yep.
And normally what I do is I take a piece, you get a little piece of flat brass there, narrow.
Uh, yeah. This.
Yep. Yep. That. Once I figured out where my front wheels need to go, I put that across the brass that way. Yeah.
Like that.
Mark
Okay.
it off where it needs to go. Cut that off. Solder that on. Make sure, of course, make sure it's square.
Right. And this is going to be for. So I would cut it like this,
Yep.
like so.
To
It's
the
basically a strut,
Yep. It's mounted to the top of the frame.
and it only goes from outside of the frame to outside of the frame.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if you put that back down on there again. Now, if you look at that and look at your motor bracket, you see where your holes for your axle, how they're a little bit higher off the brass rails.
Yep.
They're not flush with the brass rail.
Right.
That's why you're putting that piece of brass in there to raise the front axle.
Okay.
And then after I solder that, I take a piece of the square, the little piece of square that you have there still,
Yep. This.
and I mount that on top that brass strip you just added.
So then it just
Cut to the same size,
like that. So
and
it'll
that's
go
your
on. It'll go on top. I'm just gonna put it like that, but it's gonna go on top of here.
front axle holder.
Okay. So wherever that lines up with the car. So I'm gonna. So when I get this kit tomorrow, I'm gonna bust out the body, and then I should be able to figure out if I need to move the motor mount forward to align with. Well, I'm going to use. Okay, all right. I'm getting ahead of myself. I think because I think I want to use the floor pan uh, like I did with this other one. So I don't want anything to stick out past where the motor mounts.
Right,
If I'm going to fit the other part. Okay.
right. Yeah, that's a decision you can make when you decide what if you're going to use the chassis from the model or not.
Okay.
And then your next move is once you get your wheelbase set, then you got to decide where your guide's going to mount. Because most of the time you want your guide to be inside the body, under the bumper, somewhere in there. You know,
Yeah.
so you can't
That,
mount your guide plate until you know you got your wheelbase set. Really.
yeah. This one was really close. It actually hangs over. I think I need to cut that out a little bit or sand it off because
Uh huh.
it does rub on there some. And the bad thing is these cars had that air dam in front
Yeah.
that made them look really wicked. And I wanted to leave it in there, but it wouldn't fit because of where the wheels had to fall. So I guess I could have cut it out and left just a little bit of it, but the guide would have hit it and that would have been no good. We've been going straight on corners, and that's no good. So yeah, I'm gonna work on it, Tad. I'm gonna work on it.
Tad is a master builder.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff.
Yeah, I got a lot of.
I did buy me a pickup, but I'm a 72. I bought a 72 Chevy.
I get a lot of tips from Tad. I wish he would do more videos showing the
Yes, I
actual build. You know.
yeah. Let me switch this real quick. Yeah, I bought this 72 pickup that I want
Yeah.
to put, and I was thinking about just using oh, that is not good for the Yankees. If you got people in there screaming and hollering,
Home run sucks.
they need to pipe down.
The Boston boys, that ain't gonna happen. Sorry.
Well, we're Yankees fans, so they need to pipe down.
Trevor
All right,
Story. Go ahead.
so all right, so that's where I'm at.
Yep.
I got my homework. Um, I will, I guess I will try to video me doing it. I don't want to do it live because I don't know what's going on. Thanks, Ripple.
Thanks, Jen. Appreciate it.
It's good to know that Herrera's Carrera is the romantic guy on his anniversary, and they're sitting there probably eating ice cream and watching this live stream. That's good. Yeah, brass monkey. That's yeah, it does fit. So yeah, you're gonna walk me through this stuff, and then hopefully by the time they get the 125 chassis kits back in stock, I can get me one of them, and I'll have this one under my belt, and the other one won't be uh, very hard. So, what is this wood for?
That's put in there to use as body mounts if you need them to. If you need to use them, I've used them in some instances where you glue them to the inside of the body, like here. like your
Okay.
hand, and then
You
you
just
can
you
screw your chassis into them.
okay. So they're just basically a stopper,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
And then so okay that, and then the piano wire. What is the
That's just an option for building.
but what would a primary use of piano wire in this be?
I've seen Michael Squire. I don't know if you know Michael Squire. He's on a lot of the chats.
I know Billy Squire.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what his song was.
That's comedy gold, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Michael
okay,
Squire. Michael Squire builds almost a complete wire chassis, and they're works of art. If you get a chance to find a video of his chassis, I would encourage you watching them. Yes, and Ted says axle mount. You can also use them to mount, like up here in the front where we talked about, Mike.
yeah, up here.
Yep, take those two pieces out of there. Some people will bend the wire,
Bend it.
solder it,
Okay,
solder it to the brass, bend the wire into like a small L,
okay.
and and then solder your tube across here. Can you see my little thingy on the screen, on your screen?
No, I don't. I see
You don't see
you.
the hand. You don't see the little hand.
I saw your hand a
You
minute
don't.
ago when you held it up.
Okay, so you don't see the little white hand.
No,
No. Okay.
no.
Anyway, and then you make a little L out of those on both sides, and that's how you add your axle tube to that. Solder your axle tube to the piano wire.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's different ways to do things. I built a couple chassis using piano wire to fill gaps. Like I do my rear axle tube and my front guide, and then cut the brass off and fill the middle with piano wire. I found it difficult to do, and with all of this, you got to keep it clean, and piano wire especially because it will rust really quickly on you from the flux.
Oh, gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it was I think it was
I think
B
that's
Rad that said earlier, soldering and prepping flux is the key. That's exactly right.
yeah. I gotta find out where I hid the flux from my wife. So from the boss lady. So
Yeah, but
I'll
yeah,
find it. I just gotta remember which hiding spot I put it in. So
yeah, yeah. Rub everything down with the scratch pad before you solder it. Use lots of flux and lots of heat. Keep your heat on where you're soldering for longer than you think you should.
okay. All right. So I got my homework for this week in preparation for well these next 2 weeks. But like I said, I'll video it, and maybe by then I'll have figured out how I can put a video up showing me doing it. I guess I don't know. Stay clean. That's what I'm talking about. That should have been Dare the Dare slogan back in the day when we was in school. Stay clean. All right.
So
So
if you think of any other things, hit me up during the week, while you're
oh
working
sure, I
on.
sure will.
Yep.
I sure will. I'm not gonna get a whole lot of time. Uh,
Anybody
that
else
couple.
have any questions or suggestions? We're not,
So
like I said, I don't know. I'm new at this too. I've only been doing it a little while, and I find something different every build I do, and I try new stuff every build, and I've learned a lot from watching other builders. Some stuff I found on my own, but most stuff I've learned from watching what other people have done.
Yeah, they did a really good job putting this kit together for sure. Just from what little bit I've seen, with just starting to do these H&R chassis and getting them from over there at the shop. Um, so the model that I bought, Pete, was I found it on Amazon. The 132 60 is a 69 Nova Super Sport.
Yeah,
I found it on Amazon. So, and
three.
if even if you research 132 plastic model cars, they're gonna put 125s and 124. So just be careful
Yeah,
and kind of watch it before you buy it. I do have one question before we maybe go to the chat. Is so they gave me over there at the track this H&R chassis. I got a 10 tooth pinion gear on there. It will not go through. The pinion gear is too big to go through the hole.
take the pinion off and reinstall it.
I mean, is that the best way to do it?
I don't know. You can drill it out. I've done that before. You got to be very careful though, because that chassis will twist in your hand on you.
Well, I don't. Well, if I drill it out, it would be hand. But this is brass. How difficult if I get like a metal round metal file, or
Yeah, file will do it. How,
I have hold on, I have one of these little sanding sticks if I can find it. Here it is.
depends on how much material you
So
have to out.
I got these little round sanding sticks.
Yeah,
Uh, if I just take it and run it around there, it maybe sand enough off
yeah, or a
to
round file
get
like
it. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to definitely don't want to twist it. I just thought maybe you had a little tip that we
no,
could.
no, I haven't. I ran into that problem once and I drilled it out using a brass drill bit.
Right.
Yeah. But you have to be careful because it is very easy to twist it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not gonna put any kind of drill or nothing in there. If I do get a drill bit, I'm gonna just put it in there and turn it by hand. I'm not gonna. That looks like the Yankees scoring a run there.
Now, ground ball base hit.
Well, we're gonna score a run there. But yeah, anyway, okay, that's that kit. And the last thing I have to share is uh, I got me another car today. Nobody, I'm sure nobody's surprised, but it is a Scale Auto 124 car, and it is in pieces. And it's one is I know it's not a scratch build, but I'm gonna have to build it, right? Um, and if anybody sees the boss lady, don't rat me out. Um, so I mean, it has all the parts in here. The motor, I guess that's like the motor pod, but it's a AMG row. Of course, you know why I had to get it because December yeah, in December we got things to do. But it's that Pro chassis,
Nice.
the metal. I think it's metal and
That's an,
graphite maybe or
that's
something,
an,
or just metal
that's
and
an,
plastic.
that's an expensive car.
Yeah, you know, I steal stuff, so you know what I'm saying. Don't tell, don't tell them police up in Michigan, but yeah. No, I got me a pretty good dealer. He keeps me supplied.
Hey, Pete was asking, where do you find 132 bodies?
Yeah,
3A, 3A, 3D, Pete.
yeah. If you want to get
They're,
if you want to get the resin, but
they're
the
making
model bodies,
they're making resin bodies. You can buy
yeah.
just the body or the whole kit. And Slot Car Corner has them for sale. And they're resin, they're not plastic. And they have a
But
bunch of different 132nd ones now.
but yeah, I found the one that I got on Amazon today,
Hey,
and
here's a great idea from Tad. You can cut a slit in the top of that motor mount,
oh really? Okay,
drop the drop the motor and the pinion through. That's a good
okay,
idea.
just like with the Dremel, just
Yeah.
take a slit, take my Dremel, and just go
Yep.
straight down the center, and
Right.
just cut out. So I wonder the width of, yeah, and it shouldn't mess with the integrity of it either because it's
No.
soldered all the way across there.
And then what I would do, I think I would install my motor and maybe hit it with a dab of solder on the top where you cut the slit out. After you install the motor so that it's
Right, and
in place.
put the motor screws in there
Yeah. Then
to
everything's
hold
in
it
place. Yeah.
in.
Good idea, Tad. Thank you.
Yeah, that is a good idea. That's why we're doing it, right?
Yep.
Uh, so yeah, when I'm not gonna build this car just yet, the 125, um, the Galaxy, I'm not gonna build that yet, but uh, just because I don't know about the weights and stuff, like
Yeah.
you put the, is it gonna hurt anything to put weight under the motor and then down the center like we do? The other thing that they do is they put the block weight back here under the axle at the track over there. Just that's just the way that they do it.
Yeah.
So
Make sure that you check HRW for gearing. I think they have a specific gear too.
oh yeah, well on the 132, I think that yeah, I looked at the rules today on the 132. So I mean it had a whole range of pinion gears and crown gears that
Yeah.
all right, Pete, we'll see you, buddy. Enjoy your dinner and we appreciate you, man. But yeah, it's forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, I saw the gear ratios and stuff. They were saying 927 is
Yeah.
what
I think
runs
that's what
best
it
on
is.
there. But
Yeah. 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 So
this guy last night running a 1134 and was roasting. He was breaking out. I think he had like three breakout laps. He couldn't get that thing.
too
He
fast.
couldn't. Yeah, but a 1134. That's
I
weird.
I
That gear
told you.
ratio is weird.
Yeah. Uh, divisible by three, I guess, is the key. I told you the
Yeah,
ones that Nico told me to try, right?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
But
gonna
that car
buy.
was crazy fast.
I'm gonna buy some of them for my Cobra and try them.
Well, I was running a 31 in that petty, and I switched it last night to a 29. And yeah, I had in that race I had
Easier,
97 laps.
easier to
I,
keep your time, huh?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that other one was just it was just it took too long to get the top speed, and then when you got to bleed it off anyway, I figured that I needed a top speed quicker to get there quicker. And that way, when I bled it off down at the end of the straight, I wasn't hurting myself,
Yeah.
because I was already top speed. And then, but anyway, um, yeah, it's been fun doing this stuff and painting. So yeah, I'm working on my paint skills. So uh,
This is this is a brass that I built, and if you notice it here on the sides, those are the H&R chassis brackets, right?
yeah,
The ones here for body mounts, and I use the buttons inside the sedan delivery.
right.
So that's a brass chassis using the H&R mounting, and it works perfect on this vehicle. I've tried every different kind of mounting solution, and I actually found two others that I'm interested in trying.
All right, Tad. We'll see you, buddy, and thanks for your input, man.
See
Appreciate
you,
that.
Tad. Thanks a lot, man. One of my favorite builders. See, that mount's perfect in there.
Yeah. So that
Built,
just snaps. It just snaps in.
yep. I built this last July. It's a good runner, but of course it's got high weight, so you got to remember that going into the turn. One of my favorites. Really came out nice.
Yeah, B Red. The smaller pinion with a similar ratio is less twitchy out of the turns. That is true. It's a longer turn on the. So I'm thinking about trying 829 on a Carrera car gear ratio and an 830. So just to kind of mess around. But this is the latest paint job and it's rough. I think I showed it to you before. This
Yeah.
Mustang.
Is that the Mustang I
And
sent you?
yeah, that's the Mustang you sent me.
Yeah.
Yep, 100%. And it's a little bit rough right there. I don't know, but I haven't sanded it down yet. But it's my practice car. But that's a 125 scale, right? So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna take one of the chassis that came from the Quebec and put this on it.
Sure. Why not?
Uh,
Yep.
it's the one that the GT40 was on.
Right.
So it's already got these wheels, the GT40 wheels. I think the Mustang. I think it looked pretty good on the Mustang. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I'm going to order some 1133s and some 1236s and a 25K motor for my Cobra
yeah,
and try it.
that ought to get down. That ought to get down.
All right, guys. Anybody got any questions?
Oh, look at that, Joshua Oliver, my son,
Is that your
popped
son?
in there. Yeah, yeah,
Hi,
popped
Joshua.
in there.
Nice to see
He
you.
uh, he gave me a strike. He gave me a strike earlier. I watched the grandkids today, and I had changed Lane Lee, right? Oh, I'm sorry, Lane Marisi. I call her Lane Lee, but whatever. And he sent me a text. Oh, I forgot to tell you that her pull-ups are the Bluey pull-ups, and you put a swimmer diaper on her. I didn't know it had seashells. I should have known, but I'm not very smart. So uh, that's why she was throwing a fit. I couldn't figure out why she was throwing a fit. I just thought she didn't want to put the pull-up on. It was because it wasn't Bluey. I didn't know.
Had the wrong pants. Had the wrong pants.
We'll share the blame on that, son. We'll share the blame on that. It's lack of communication, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. Oh, and I had her on the track today, out there, and she did all right. She having a little trouble like understanding right now that to keep her thumb down to make the car go. So, well, I was using the Carrera ones, Carrera wireless. So she was mashing it like that, but it was a go, stop, go, stop. But she started getting it and she drove a little bit longer. But of course, I reduced the speed on it. But she
Yeah.
had fun. Then she fell off the stool. Well, I told her not to tell nobody, but she was okay. She didn't get hurt.
You're all right.
So,
Blow on it.
all right, Bryce. Hey, somebody told me that the other day at work, it looks like you have a hard time walking. I said that's from too many walk it off when I was a kid playing football. It's like when we were kids, they was like walk it off, walk it off. You got a broken ankle and your
Yeah.
foot's hanging off the end of your leg, and they like walk it off. So yeah, that's another talk for another time.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Mike. Well, I'm good.
All right. I had a good time. Thank you.
Doesn't look like we
And
have any questions.
I sure hope I don't let you down. So I'm gonna
So we'll go on.
try to
We'll
be
go
strong.
on. We'll go on and do our bills, work on our bills, and we can talk during the next couple of weeks. We'll come back 2 weeks from tonight, and we can show our progress. And maybe we'll have some more
Yep.
people come by with questions or suggestions. We're happy to take suggestions. Tad
Yep.
gave us one tonight that I will file away, and I'm sure I will use in the future.
Oh yeah. Thank you everybody for coming on and supporting us tonight. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, appreciate you all very much.
And get your build on.
Get your build on, right? Say good night.
Good night.